Guys, I'm Ghostinthecamera, and it's been a standard 1 to 2 years, so I thought it was about time to make a video. Today we're going to be talking about Hitman Absolution. I'm going to show you about FreeCam mods and cheats, how to download and set them up on your computer, how to activate them in-game, and then I'm going to show you some of the things that I was able to do that I found the most interesting. Now, first up we have Wemods. This is the easiest to set up and use. You'll go to the Wemod website, and I'll provide links to all of these in the description. You'll download the application for Wemods, and it works specifically with the Steam versions of Absolution. It may work with other versions as well. So once you've downloaded it, you'll need to set up an account, and once you launch it, it will look like this. You'll have a play option in the corner where you can launch the game from the mods, or you can open Absolution and then minimize it and open this. Once it's set up, you'll be able to activate these sliders. So you've got unlimited health, ghost mode, which means you can't be detected, unlimited instinct, unlimited ammo, no reload, perfect accuracy, rapid fire, fireworks doesn't work, or I wasn't able to make it work. Ceasefire means the enemy can't fire, and one hit kill is exactly what it sounds like. So, once you boot it up in the game, we'll show you how this one works. Now, moving on. Okay, next up is a method for FreeCam. It's not a true FreeCam method, but it's what I found the most useful to get around and explore the maps. So what this does, it allows you to change 47's Z-axis within the game, moving him up and down. Now initially this can not be that useful as you'll still run into invisible walls, but what I found is if you move below or above the map high enough or low enough, you can then restart the checkpoint and your Z-axis will be saved and the invisible walls will be gone, allowing you to move anywhere in the map and then drop down to anywhere you want to explore. This is the Reddit page which I initially found it on, r/hitman, and this will take you over to here and you can download it. It may be flagged as a virus, that will be a false negative, so you can restore that. If your antivirus does flag it, it may try and automatically delete it. You can then go into your antivirus settings and say exclude this file and it should reappear. Once you boot it up, it will look like this little program here, very simple. You'll be able to enable and disable it by pressing this button, or you can set a hotkey, whatever you feel is appropriate. Then you can do the same for controlling the up and down. For this I'm going to set it, let's just say F6, why not? And then when the game is running it will say, so you can either have this up beforehand and then run the game, or run the game, minimize, and then open this up. Okay, that's one method. Okay, finally, this method is probably the most extensive, as it involves using the cheat engine. You can download that at cheatengine.org, and then you can go to here at framedsc.com, game guide for Hitman Absolution, and there's a combination of multiple cheat scripts in one place. Other places on the internet you might find cheat scripts for this, such as just FreeCam on its own or just the cheats on its own. This one here combines all of them. It contains true FreeCam in that you're able to move away from 47, move anywhere in the map. It does have limitations in that it's quite slow and can be quite buggy. It also allows you to have a top-down view of 47 and a few other cinematic elements. Additionally, there's time controls, so you can stop and start time. It's a slow motion where it goes 1/10 of the time. And additionally, there's the regular cheats built in, so unlimited ammo, unlimited health, unlimited instinct, and invisibility. So once the cheat engine is installed, you can download the file from here. It will most likely be recognized as a virus, so you'll have to exclude it in your antivirus, and then you'll be able to open it. It should automatically open with the cheat engine. If not, just select the cheat engine. Then it will look like this. Now, when Absolution is running, you'll play the game, you'll hit this button up here, and you'll be able to select the process. Hitman Absolution will go here, you'll click open, and then it will be able to run. So, you can activate the cheats, the regular cheats, by just ticking this box when the game is running, and you'll be able to select any of these, or all of them, and they will run similar to Wemods. The rest are all tied to controls. Now, if you have a limited number of keys, or if you have a smaller laptop like I do, you'll need to plug in an external keypad, external with more buttons, so you'll be able to use the D-pad. So that keyboard will allow you to use all the keys that you might not have on your laptop. So, let's get into the game and see how this works. Okay, now we're in game. I'm going to show you how some of the Wemod mods work. Now some I haven't put on. Ceasefire is pretty straightforward. Basically whatever happens they won't fire. And ghost mode. Ghost mode is interesting. Basically you can run around and do a lot of things and they won't notice, but if you start shooting outright they will start attacking you. It's not true invisibility. The other ideas such as unlimited instinct and limited health I think you can guess for yourself. The really fun ones are when you have unlimited ammo, no reload and rapid fire, and it just turns your pistols into full out machine guns. Then if you add in some of the different mods as well, if you start using the slow motion from the cheat engine, you can have a lot of fun. So I'm going to show you just some of those. So I've turned on most of them: unlimited health, unlimited instinct, ghost mode, not that it will help us once we start shooting, but most importantly the machine pistol part. So let's try it out, let's see how it works. As you see, pretty rapid. Now people can start shooting me, it's not going to really affect. Now let's see what unlimited instinct plus this ammo will do for us. If I go, let's find some more targets, whatever, I guess these guys will do. So we can just absolutely... You see I've got about 51 bullets to fire. Alright. And it just becomes a bit ridiculous. You start absolutely hitting them with endless rounds. And then just shooting their bodies for quite a while. But you get the idea. It's fun in that combination. So let's see. And then in combination, you can just absolutely run havoc. I've also got one-hit kills on, meaning, you know, you shoot them once, anywhere in the body, if I can at least, it will instantly kill them. So if you want to do more of a rampage, which I think Absolution really kind of, you know, promotes with all of their different weapons for a stealth game, I think you can do. The rapid fire works on and off. At the moment it doesn't seem like it's playing ball, but it will be a straight machine gun pistol. Let's see if we can do it with just a one. A little bit better. But you more or less get the idea. If you want to use the stealth invisibility, it kind of works. They do still kind of notice you, but they just won't interact. Everything else is more or less for a rampage. But yeah, you get the idea. Enjoy, have fun, they're basic cheats, they do the job. Okay, next up we've got not quite a tool for flying. This is what I found most useful for exploring the whole game, and the majority of the clips you're going to see after this are going to be using that. It's really simple. Once you've set your hotkey, you press the button. You'll see 47 move, your camera angle will change a little bit. Then you simply use the up and down keys as you set. So you can go below the map, which is always quite fun. Or if you want, you can go above the map. And then you can go, it depends what your computer and the game can handle before things start to vanish. Now, this is quite a good map in that there's not many walls immediately, which is why I wanted to show you, just so you can kind of see 47 running around. And of course, once you've moved, you'll run on an invisible floor. So let's see, we've got 47 here, I'll move him down, and you'll see he's just kind of running along. And you can go wherever you want. Now, the issues come up when you try and do this in more confined spaces. You'll realise that the walls that would be there are still affecting you. Now, there is an easy way to get around this. That being, once you're above the map like this, or if you drop below the map, you're able, you see now, I can't walk any further, I'm limited, I can't. But if I were to go, restart the checkpoint, and restart the game, or not the game, but the checkpoint, the game will remember where I am for the restart. Now I have no limitations in where I go. Now I can run wherever I want. Some maps it works better to go underneath the map to begin with to do this, and then you can pop up. Some maps it works better to go from above. Now if we try and go to the same place, this time we should be able to run right over the train tracks, and we should be able to go anywhere we want. So once again we're here. Oh, now look at that, now we can go. And you can run and you can see the endless train, which is fairly well done, and it will just go here and bits will just drop off, and then bits will endlessly be added on. So we can see, there we go, vanishing away, which is an interesting way of blocking off one end. And you can just explore the parts of the town you're never meant to go to, and this will be the best way to get around. I mean, then again, once you're up here you can always drop down to anywhere you want. So let's say we wanted to go inside the train, I could drop down, and now we're inside the train. And if you wanted to, you could drop all the way below. Now we're underneath. And then just messing about with resetting things and running around. So now I'm underneath. It doesn't really like it quite as much. But if I were to reset it again, I'm now underneath the map, and then again I can run anywhere. So before I probably couldn't have run into this building, but now I can run underneath the buildings. And then of course I can pop up into the buildings if I want, and then do as I please. So, and at any time as well you can press your hotkey again to end it, and 47 will drop. So if I was up in the air, 47 will drop down. There's no fall damage luckily, and we're just back to normal and you can run about. If you're below the map, obviously you'll fall forever. But that's a simple demonstration, but I'll give you a lot more examples later on. Okay, now I'm going to demonstrate the cheat engine. Now first up, let's look at the free cam. So what you're going to do is once it's running, you can press F2 and you'll be free from 47. Then, using the number pad, making sure number lock is on, you can use 9 and 7 keys to move down. And right there you see part of the issue. It can be quite glitchy and bounce you down. It's also quite slow. You see this is me tapping as fast as possible, this is me holding it. You can speed it up by holding the instinct button. That makes it move in bigger chunks. You can then use the 8 to move forward, the 5 to move back, 4 and 6. And again, just holding down instinct, you can push forward, we can go up a little bit. And this has its benefits. You can look around, you can explore. It's just very slow. And of course 47 can move independently. He can go around and do his thing. So I guess the main thing is it is slow. It has its limitations. You can always press F2 and you'll return to 47. Now that's pretty much the basics of the free cam. Let's move on to the time manipulation. At any point you can press F3 and everything will freeze. F4 and it will continue. You can even get 47 mid-stride, whatever. You'll still be able to move around, but everyone, including him, will freeze. Sometimes audio dialogue goes on. Then the next step is slowing down time. So if I just take off my silencers, pull them out. If I press the left brackets key on my keyboard, once I get my guns out, it will open up slow motion. Now, each of my shots I can try and time as well as possible. And you can just absolutely light these guys up. Let's see, can we get the third one as well. Then we get some headshots, take out some cops. And then again, if you put this in combination with the machine gun pistol, so rapid fire using Wemods, and then at any point you can turn it off by pressing shift and left bracket, and you'll go back to normal speed, running around like this. Hit it again. Now you'll be in slow motion. And then you can start shooting as you were before. Shatter glass, do as you please. So like I was saying, with rapid fire, unlimited ammo, this becomes a lot of fun. And then you're able to do all kinds of stuff. So, you can also have the other regular cheats on, so unlimited ammo, unlimited health, all of that kind of stuff, and it will work the same as Wemods. But those are basically the basics of the cheat engine. Some of the cons are that you will not be able to restart your checkpoint. If I restarted now, that would crash the game. So it's best to load up your mission, then load up the cheats in the cheat engine, and then do what you want to do in that map. So, I mean, pros and cons at the end of the day. It really depends what you want to do. But the time manipulation as far as this is a lot of fun. And then the free cam has its times, Sometimes it's useful to get to areas which you just can't get to using the Z-axis kind of free cam. But it's normally the one that I would choose. But anyway, now I'm going to show you a selection of different things that I found interesting within the game. So let's move on. Okay, we're going to kick things off by showing you how you can see Diana and Victoria in the first mission. Normally they're locked off in cutscenes, but their character models are here and you can access them. So we're going to use the not quite a tool for flying, the Z-axis free cam cheat. I'm going to use that in most of these clips. So once we turn it on, we've gone to an outside area, which is quite useful, so we can get straight up onto the roof. Normally if you're in a room or anywhere that's confined, you can still do this and then just hit restart checkpoint, and 47 will restart in the same height or depth wherever you put him at the start point, and there'll be no invisible walls. But seeing as an outside area, we should be able to just walk forward without anything stopping us. Now we can just check instinct, and yes, Diana's just ahead. Normally you'd walk through that door and the cutscene would be initiated, but if we just go here and we drop down, we should be dead in the bathroom. Now, since this is a cutscene room, if you hit F2 again, you won't just drop to the ground, you'll be pushed out of the room. That's quite common in a lot of the cutscene rooms. Now, I'm probably going to black book this for YouTube, but Diana is fully nude because the developers decided to do that. So there she is, but if you go on the other side of the glass, it's tastefully covered, of course. Next up is Victoria. Now she, as I remember, is just at the opposite end. She again is in a cutscene. Normally you wouldn't even think that she'd be in there at all. If we walk along, we should be able to find her. And again, we're limited to walking. Normally you can run, but if you can only walk in the area which you were prior, you can only walk again here. So there's her balcony. So if we just go above, go forward, we should be able to drop down. And there she is. Let's just walk forward a little bit. And there is Victoria T-posing in her room, which you don't normally see. And again, we can drop down. Ooh, creepy. Let's go up a little bit so we've got some more light. There you go. And that's how you see both Victoria and Diana in the first mission. Okay, first up, in the mission Fight Night, in the Patriot's hangar, if you drop right below the starting point and then restart, you'll be able to see Sanchez in his little cutscene room. You can walk right into it, and if we make ourselves level with the room, we can actually interact with him and everything in the room. So let's, boom, that should be our mission complete. You can shoot him, you can drag him around, there's an option to lockpick the door and actually open. You can't actually drop into the room, like with many cutscene rooms. If you try and hit F2 again and turn off the cheat for flying, then you'll just be pushed out of the room and to another area of the map. But as long as you don't do that, you can walk around, you can shoot, you can drag his body here, and yeah, you can just mess about with the room generally. And this is one of the cooler areas that you can get into using this kind of cheat, as you kind of crawl by this room in the vents. That's why they have it here, but they never intended you to get actually within it. Alright, yeah, let's finish him off. Nice one. Next up, in Skirky's Law, in the holding cells part of the mission, you can find Kane from Kane and Lynch. Again, this is another room that you crawl by in a vent. You're never meant to get into. You can see the vent just there. So if you walk around, you should be able to see him writing, and then quite similarly you can drop in. Now this room normally will push you out if you try and drop into it, but every now and again, if you're in the right part of the room, I don't think the triggers quite get you, and you can actually walk around normally in the room. But to begin with, we'll just position ourselves, we'll get a nice view of him. You can get right up, kind of see all the things that you otherwise wouldn't be able to see. We'll get behind him, see the picture that isn't really much of anything, and yeah, once you get inside you can try and shoot him, but he will be completely unaffected. Candles though we can take out. Next up we've got Shaving Lenny. This is the barber's shop section of the mission. Now this is kind of a pre-existing Easter egg. If you run behind the barbecue, you'll see two kind of humping dogs which they cut from the original cut of the map. Though they were a little lazy, and if you actually look from below, you can see they've only got one model of a dog. So it's two gay dogs, just having fun with one another. Next up, we're at the Absolution crematorium. Now this is the church at the end that you normally only see during the cutscene. If you run over, you can drop down, you can actually have a look around it properly, which you never normally get to do. So you can see we've got some kind of a senator, we've got the crematorium itself, we've got coffins. Fairly empty building, not too interesting, but you're like, oh, where's Benjamin? I'm sure he's meant to be in this mission. So if we drop down again, we can see him there expressing his dominance through T-posing. And again, you can run up. He's not active at all, so you can't interact with him. Let's try and shoot him a bit, but yeah, nothing will really happen, but it's cool to see him now. Next up, we've got Run for Your Life, the pigeon coop. This is the classic part where the helicopter shoots at you. We can jump up and we can take that helicopter head on. So we can run right over to him. You'll probably want God mode on for this part, as I did, as it will kill you pretty quickly. Unfortunately, you can't interact with the helicopter, you can't stand on it. There's nothing inside of it, there's no people. Yeah, there's not much, but it's pretty cool just to run up to it. And yeah, that's the helicopter itself. Interestingly, you can actually take the helicopter down as well. So here, you shoot the helicopter enough times. I start off using point shoot and then just unload. So I'm just going to speed this part up because it's a little bit boring. But if you keep on shooting the helicopter, bit by bit, you'll start to see it smoking more. The smoke will build and build. Eventually, it will start to catch on fire. So you can see the smoke's getting pretty intense at this point. And eventually, after you shoot it enough times, it will start to catch on fire. And then eventually, it will be taken down. This does take a lot of shots. I guess you could do this normally in the game if you were maybe taking cover, had a lot of ammo. But as you see, I am just unloading on it. Eventually, she goes down. Can actually take out the helicopter. Next up is glitches in Chinatown. This is the King of Chinatown. Basically, this happens in a few missions, but I thought this was the most, the funniest of them. If you move up your Z-axis and restart the checkpoint, it will affect other NPCs, and they'll basically, normally when they interact with stairs, that's when they break. They'll just start walking up into space, and they'll interact with all the other NPCs in the same way, but they'll be, you know, a few meters above them or below them, depending what happens. But happens with some cops in Run for Your Life, happens in a few different missions. But it's pretty funny to see. He's just gonna still see us, still interact as normal, but just, you know, 10 meters in the air. So this is in Rosewood mission, central heating. So this is the whole map. Another cool thing you can do, just looking at the maps generally, but we can run right to the end and get past the cutscene checkpoint it would normally activate, and we can get behind the enemies. We run all the way to the end. You can also see a basement below, which doesn't appear in the map. I can only imagine it's past the cutscene. So if we go over the top of them, you can see there she is. There's the girl below. We've got our guys waiting to jump out at us and ambush us. We've got our main target there. Now, interestingly, these guys here, you can't really interact with. You can shoot them, but it will just go right through them. So these thugs, let's just take a few shots. Nothing. But our main guy, and you can't get too near him as well, as it's a cutscene area, it kind of pushes you out. But you can shoot him, and he'll react, but obviously he won't die, which is a bit of a shame. Now, this is one of a kind. There's a few hidden areas that they clearly had planned to develop, but never fully used. So again, if you pop above, you see that's down to the basement. On the right hand side is all the areas with all the memorabilia, all the references to the other games. But on the left hand side are some other areas. Now you can see there is a door connecting it, but you can't get through it. And there's 3 rooms. Now there's nothing in the rooms, unfortunately, that's that interesting. You can see maybe the potential is to spread the stuff out more, and they decided we'll just keep it in one smaller area. But there's clothes, there's boxes, but there's nothing of interest that I could find. And again, this area, if you actually try and drop down into it, it will push you right out of the area, like with other cutscene kind of things. If you go F2, or even if you drop down without hitting F2 and getting out of the flying mode, then you'll get pushed right out. And I think you should see it here when I try and go down. So I drop down, and boom, pushed right out of the area. Okay, now these are just some of the views you can get. This is Dexter Industry Factories compound. You can walk around. This is some of the fun parts of using free cam, and not quite a tool for flying. Just get great views. So that's some of the pros of Absolution, is the art style. You can see that again here in a personal contract. Again, just great views of the sea, sunset. I mean, you were meant to see this outside environment. That's why they added it, I think. But it's just fun to run about. You can see all the areas that you would be climbing across, where the box ends. But it's just pretty cool just to run around in the middle of nowhere, just over the sea. The further you run out, the more starts to vanish. But we can even get to the balcony area. This is where the girl will be later on. We can run right into there. We can find... There's nothing in there. This is the same place I showed you when I showed you Diana at the same time. But at the moment, it's just empty. But it's cool. We can get into just areas that you wouldn't be able to access normally, even if they aren't really populated with anything. More on the personal contract, just getting above maps and seeing them like this is probably part of the coolest thing of Absolution. You can just look over and just see the layout, see the design. You can even shoot down from up here and start taking out people and they won't be able to find you. It's pretty cool. So this is Run for Your Life. If you start and you just go above the elevator and you run straight out, you can just run over the cops, out of the building. It's a one-way system. And then we can drop all the way to the ground, past the train station. And you can interact with this area you normally wouldn't be able to. Again, this is just like the city view. There's not much here. It's just cars parked. Not much to interact with, but again, just cool to get these areas that you see around, but never need normally interact with yourself. Finally, this is just a graveyard, again running around. Absolution was an interesting game to play with cheats. The game itself I didn't really enjoy. It was just far too linear. Great art style, great mechanics, a lot of potential, but just the linear style of the game was terrible. But anyway guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.